Hello, my name's Rob and welcome to Swift Slots. Now the other day I was having a conversation on Facebook with a rather iffy looking guy. It's this guy just here. It's Harry from Scale Slot Cars and RC. He was telling me that he was getting very frustrated with some of his Scalextric cars because the wheels were falling off their axles. Now for someone like myself that has been around slot cars for many years, I take these problems in my stride and I just fix them and I don't pay any mind to it. But I do sometimes lose focus of the fact that not everybody has been in the hobby as long as I have, and not everybody understands how to fix these really common problems. So I thought what I would do in this video is I would show you two ways how I fix my Scalextric wheels falling off their axles, just like this one here. So I'm going to get you on the table and I shall show you exactly how I fix my axles. Now this is by no means the absolute way of doing it, it's just two ways that I do that I found work really well. So let's get you on the table and I shall show you how I fix my wheels when they come off a Scalextric axle. Okay, so for method one, take your axle and push the wheels really tight so that you know for a fact that both wheels are fully on the axle. Then push the bearings inboard. Then you want to grab yourself some masking tape, doesn't really matter what masking tape it is, and you want to put a little bit of masking tape at the base of the wheel, just like that, so that you've got a register so you know just how far back the wheel comes on the axle. Then you want to remove the wheel and get yourself a really stout pair of end nips. Now these are made by Brittle, these particular ones, and they're very good quality, but anything will really work because the Scalextric axles are actually very soft. So what you want to do is you want to come in at 45 degrees on the axle and you want to give it a little bit of a nip. Not too much, but not a little tiny bit. You want to give it a little bit of a nip like that so it makes a nice big angled dent. And then come inboard a second time and do yourself another one, just like that. And obviously because it's a pair of pliers, you're going to get exactly the same marks on the opposite side. So then what you're going to do is keep that angle and turn it through 90 degrees and then do exactly the same at 90 degrees. So little nip and a little nip, and that will give you another two marks. Then turn it 45 degrees and then come in at the opposite angle and you want to give it another nip and another nip, so then you get two now in the opposite direction. Then you want to turn it 90 degrees again and then come in from, which I lost my angle now, so was it that way? So then come in from this angle here and go nip and then go nip, just there. So what you'll end up now is a whole series of little dents and cross hatches. Then what you want to do is get some super glue and put it onto a little plate that won't absorb the super glue, and with a toothpick with the end of it cut off, wet the toothpick and go into the wheel itself and then roll it around the inside of the wheel so that it makes the inside of the wheel nice and wet. Then with the same toothpick, just put a small amount of super glue on the end of the shaft. No point putting too much on the shaft itself because the wheel will push most of it off. But if you put the super glue into the wheel, the super glue's got nowhere to go, so it has to go to the bottom and then it will start squeezing out the other way. Then what you do is you just simply push it on, and you'll notice that the wheel is a real nice tight fit as you push it back on because of all those little serrations that you've made. And that's it, it's done, it's on. Now I felt that was a really nice firm fit and I'm comfortable that that is exactly where it needs to be. Now if you give that super glue some time to set up, that will be really solid. So the second way to do it is similar to the first way but slightly different. So in this particular instance we're going to need a piece of sandpaper. This is a piece of 120 grit which is moderately coarse but it's nice and new, so it's nice and sharp. So what you do, get yourself a piece of tape again, exactly the same as the last time. Put it on the axle, push the bearing on the inboard, pop it on, wrap it round like that. Then pull off the wheel and then get your sandpaper, fold it in half and squeeze it between the axle there and go round ways. Very squeeze really hard, and what you want to do is you want to score the axle like that. You don't want to sand the axle down. You want to put rotary scores into the axle. So once you've done that, again, exactly the same as the last time, put a bit of glue on your non-absorbent surface. Take your toothpick that's been cut off at the end, put it in the super glue, pop it in the wheel, get it all nicely coated on the inside of the wheel. Again, put a little bit of super glue on the outside of the axle, just the end, not a lot, you don't need to put a lot of it. And then again, push your wheel onto the axle. Now in this particular instance, you'll notice that it won't actually cause as much resistance this time because you're not causing big burrs. So this is more of a sort of a gripping solution with using the super glue more than anything else, rather than actually having deep serrations in the actual axle. And there we are. So that's exactly how I fit both of my wheels when I have the problem with the wheels falling off. And you'll find once the super glue sets up in either of these methods, you'll find that these wheels probably won't come off your car ever again unless you want them to. And there we are. That's the two methods that I employ to fix my Scalextric's classic wheels when they fall off the axles. Now I know there are a lot of other ways to do this, but these are the two ways that I use and I found them to work very, very well. Now obviously there are a lot of guys out there that know how to do this, and that's absolutely great, but there might be some people out there that don't know, just like Harry. So hopefully this video has helped you guys. So if you've enjoyed this sort of content, maybe you'll subscribe, and if you could hit the little bell button, that would be awesome. So until the next time, thank you very much.